Cool, man. Yeah. So here with Chris from Sub7. Chris, would you mind just giving me a very quick introduction about who you are, what you do, and who you help?
Yeah, so Chris Putch, I'm the founder of Sub7. Sub7 is a mobile app that helps people with type 1 diabetes basically just better manage their disease through um, just aggregating data and pulling insights so that they can kind of make more confident decisions and they have to guess less.
Someone. And you had a previous background as well. You had a successful exit and a bit of a cool backstory too.
Yeah, so another previous to Sub7, at a startup called Upspace. Started that in 2020, so it's about 6 years ago now. That was essentially a fitness tech platform. It's like a marketplace for workouts and nutrition and other things. Um, I left that at the beginning of 2025, and I was able uh, to exit there. It's still going strong. I just I love that, but I just felt passionate about doing something in the type 1 space. I had kind of built out a prototype for myself just on the side. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so built out a prototype to help me kind of better manage my numbers. I knew that there was just something missing in the space. Uh, that brought my A1C, which is kind of like the gold standard for measuring how healthy your diabetes is. I brought it down from 6.7 to 5.9, which is a pretty significant drop. Um, and that's when I just kind of decided to go all in on Sub7 and been doing that for almost a year now.
Come on. And then when you joined, obviously this was the main focus. There's a few different ideas. You were looking at potentially raising or going about it on your own, and whether to just to bootstrap it and kind of go your own way. Like, what was the trigger for you to want to actually get on LinkedIn and start building the personal brand for you?
Um, yeah, it's interesting. I had never been on LinkedIn. I've never been a big social media guy. I don't even have a necessarily a marketing background.
Mm.
My previous startup, so up until the point when I joined, I kind of did everything, but I leaned much more on the product and operation side. Although I also ran the growth team, kind of do a little bit of everything, but I've never been a big social media guy. But um, I just felt passionately that I could be, a thought leader in the space, not to like throw that term around too lightly, because I think everybody thinks that they're thought leaders these days. But and I just saw it as a good kind of way to get my thoughts out there and just grow a little bit of brand awareness organically. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's as far as I got. I really had no idea how to do that up until I talked to you guys. So
Yeah. Tell us about, like, openly. Just would love to hear, like, very broad open question, like your experience. We can talk about, like, I know you had some very good posts and lots some great campaigns as well. They got some good responses and conversations going. But tell us about your just high level experience with, like, team. I know you work very closely with Carmen on the personal brand as well.
yeah, I mean, overall, it's been incredible. Basically, I came in, like I said, with really no idea how to run a successful LinkedIn profile campaign, whatever you want to call it. And now I feel like I do. So, job well done. Yeah, from building out my actual profile to just creating a strategy behind it to coming up with content, using the right tools, um, even the interviews, kind of interview style, idea kind of generation that we did at the beginning with Carmen, where we just sat down for 30 or 45 minutes and she's kind of asked me a bunch of questions. Was really insightful. It kind of helped me not just in LinkedIn, but with my marketing in general, try to figure out kind of like the angles that I wanted to kind of go after, instead of just being another, type 1 diabetes app. Um, and it was a very genuine way to do it, which I think is why it's so effective. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just been a really great experience all around. Can't have, I don't have enough good things to say.
Awesome, I appreciate that. Would you mind sharing a little bit more about, because I know you shared a couple of, like, quite, like, vulnerable posts and, like, family led posts in the beginning, and they got some really, really good traction, like literally just as you kicked off.
Yep.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
what
and
what, what story there?
um, I mean, again, I've never been a big like social media guy. I've always been pretty private. But it just made sense at the time, to kind of put these things out there. And I think Carmen definitely had to do some hand holding and get me comfortable with it for sure. I think I expressed multiple times like this is just not me. Um, but I kind of leaned on her and took her word for it. And yeah, I wasn't trying to. I think it came across well just because it was authentic and genuine. And I wouldn't even say like super vulnerable, but just kind of putting myself and my story out there. Um, yeah, you know, it did well for sure. So I'm glad she made me do it.
It absolutely popped. Sorry, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also had some experience launching some campaigns as well.
Which campaigns? The
How is it going, by the way? Because I know you launched a new campaign reaching out to a specific demographic, and I know you had some initial traction of some responses. Like, I don't think I've spoke to you since that. Like,
yeah. So it's funny, like when we have the calls, I like want to get into more of a sales campaign and outreach campaign. And I'm actually just kind of teeing one up right now for affiliates and trying to get on podcasts and stuff. So that actually would be something great to talk about at some point because I know that that's kind of your area.
Yeah.
But up until this point, it's been, I mean, we're not B2B, except, we're B2C. It's a much more of a marketing play. Like we're going for thousands of users, not clients. So it's a little bit different. But even though I don't necessarily need it, just being part of the program and learning from you and Rachel and Oscar has made me want to run these campaigns because it just seems like it worked what you guys are pitching. So yeah, I'm like excited to figure out a way to get it going.
because this was all, like you said, this was all originally just you weren't really interested in leads revenue when we had initial conversation back in, it was a few months ago now, wasn't it? And I remember like most people come to us and like, I want leads, and like of course we can help with leads, but when you said I want purely visibility, brand building, that side of things, that was quite an interesting conversation. And from your first post, like when I saw that come out, I was like, okay, like this is popping for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I know you're short for time today.
Oh, one sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you got a cup?
No, we're good.
Very good. Yeah, I was just going to say, I was going to kind of pass it. I know your 5 a.m. call is probably not what you want right now. And you probably
have a good time.
You probably want a coffee.
I got
in
one.
terms of like your business as a whole, like very holistically, like which direction you're going to start taking it in now? Like, when you got that initial foundation, like you built a personal brand and continue to do so, like what is the next thing for you? Because obviously you're doing like an amazing thing and helping a lot of people, and your product is obviously, I don't personally use it, but I can see from you having used it and going through your experience, it's obviously like a very powerful thing. Like what does that movement look like? It's obviously a very impactful thing that you're doing.
Yeah, so now that I kind of have that foundation for my own personal brand awareness and the Sub7 brand awareness, I think the next step is building on that through partnerships, kind of like I said. So taking a little bit more of a targeted outreach approach. I think that's the fastest way to build more awareness, like through other existing communities and and audiences and partners, as opposed to just trying to do it solely through my own. It's nice because now I have the foundation to fall back on. I mean, the first thing people are going to do when I reach out is kind of go in and check out LinkedIn and all the stuff. So I feel good that I have that there in place. And it's also nice, if people are throughout the call it sales process, just to have that knowing my brand is there as just existing touch points. Like if they follow on LinkedIn or something like that, they're going to kind of continue to get hit and I won't go away. So, it all plays together. For sure. But that to answer your question, the next step is to kind of build out a base of partners and affiliates, and kind of break into their audiences and their communities.
Cool, man. Looking forward to helping you launch that campaign. Let me know when you do, and then we'll build it up together.
Cool. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, we'll do it. We'll arrange this and then we'll get it smashed out.
Sweet.
Awesome, dude. And then yeah, final one for me. Imagine you were speaking with someone who is thinking about growing their personal brand, thinking about growing their business on LinkedIn, not sure whether to take the plunge. Like, what would your final words to that kind of individual be?
Yeah, I think if you believe in what you're doing, there's no reason not to. I think I do think these days LinkedIn is like the new website, for your own personal brand. This is the first place people are going to go, and check you out to see if you're legit. So it's really important that you have that set up to some degree. And I would recommend, being as active as you can be to some degree, because it's only going to help, especially if you have thoughts or ideas that you want to spread. It's just kind of like the best place to start.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Cool, man. Yeah, gonna wrap it up there. That's been Chris. Thank you so much for your time at 5 o'clock in the morning, your time. Yeah, I appreciate it.